LEGO Wars Series 6. I am your commentator, Sam Elliott. This is David Smeg.
Hello, sorry.
And you may be wondering, why are you seeing this instead of your usual robot combats in LEGO form? Well, we are here. This reason why we missed last week is because we are in Yarmouth.
Sorry about that again.
Yeah, it's alright. For Mike 3, the Beetleweight events. But more importantly, we're on a over 100-year-old roller coaster involved snails.
We're ready for snails.
Oh my!
Here we go.
I hope you enjoyed this amazing cold open, and yeah, enjoy the episode.
My back is broken.
Welcome back to LEGO Wars and Heat H of Series 6. Last time out before the break, it was a tale of two grabbers as Chompy and Muffin cleaned up the lion's share of points to conclude the first half of the heats. This week, it's the turn of the streaky bacon spinner of Mr. Waffle, hoping to continue its run of making the bracket alongside the only 4-bar and best frog in the business, Sir Lancer Frog. Let's see who else will complete this fun lineup.
First, from Edinburgh and seeded number 14, Mr. Waffle.
The ever-staring breakfast bot returns for another tilt at the title, but it remains to be seen if that bacon will stay on this time.
From Sutton and seeded number 15, Sir Lancer Frog.
The top 4-bar in LEGO Wars is back with a new build and improved weapon mech, but the longer design may prove cumbersome in the arena.
From Telford, New York Slice.
The Pizza Bot had a solid debut last year, making the play-ins, and has increased their reach on the disc to help dish out more damage.
From Sapporo, Japan, R.O.B.
New Boys R.O.B. one of the stars of International and helps add the charm that robot combat surely needs to remain fun. Might still lose an arm though.
From Yeovil, Bishop.
The Kiwi Drive bot is back for a second go in LEGO Wars, but it is an awkward bot to drive and personally I've barred myself from driving it. We'll begin the second half of the heats with a bludgeoning breakfast Mr. Waffle taking on the New Boys R.O.B.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Well, after a quick week's break, we are back in the LEGO Wars arena with our number 14 seeds, Mr. Waffle. Round of 32 places, last time out losing to Flashover Delta against rookies R.O.B, the robotic operating buddy who impressed, I thought, quite a lot in the previous international special we had, losing out there in the round of 16, I believe it was, to R.O.B Blade. Eventual winners R.O.B Blade, so you can't really complain at that. Mr. Waffle in their own international exploits representing Scotland were knocked out by Slammo in the same stage of the competition. R.O.B pushes Mr. Waffle against the arena side wall, getting them pinned against the pit rings button. They get away though. The drivetrain of Mr. Waffle is its main weapon once again, and down goes the pit, and R.O.B caught out. They're down the pit, and it's a winning start for our seeded machine. Mr. Waffle gets 3 points on the board. The fight had barely even got going before we saw R.O.B descend down the pit. A bit of a close encounter, this one. I don't know how this could have gone had R.O.B not fell down the pit. I thought that Mr. Waffle were aggressive throughout, but the weapon wasn't really able to do the damage that they needed to. And R.O.B did have some sufficient pushing power to push them towards that pit button. Mr. Waffle saw full advantage and pitted R.O.B.
They couldn't get a proper hit on their opponents, but Waffle's secret weapon helps to pull them to another win. Next up, it's old friends dueling in the LEGO Wars arena as New York Slice faces Sir Lancer Frog.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Off we go then for our second fight of the night. The seeded number 15, Sir Lancer Frog, enters the arena with the 4-bar lifter against New York Slice, a second-year robot, based, of course, off of Robert Webb, one of our many editors of the show's robot of the same name. Sir Lancer Frog, of course, based off Nicholas Cole's Sir Lancer Frog robot of the same name. And these two very good friends outside of the arena. In the arena, though, it is an entirely different story. Sir Lancer Frog completely rebuilt from the ground up this series. A new lifting mech as well to make the robot even better than before. And Sir Lancer Frog will be hoping for another successful campaign this time around. They made it all the way to the round of 16. They were lost there to Quantum, so no disgrace. But Sir Lancer Frog here, I think, is already in trouble because that one side of drive has been compromised already, and they are very close to the pit here. New York Slice have an opportunity to get a win on the board straight out of the traps. Sir Lancer Frog caught between a rock and a hard place, aka the pit of oblivion, and the rear end of New York Slice. And Sir Lancer Frog here, despite all the early promise, the redesign and the new lifter in the middle, has been hit very hard on the wheel. That being said, New York Slice also seems to be compromised as well. They're not moving and they're not translating. Sir Lancer Frog and New York Slice both being counted out here to a double KO.
6.
Unbelievable. They had such a great opportunity, but instead it goes to the judges between these two. Well, another dramatic and quick ending to the fight there, but New York Slice will be living in regret surely. So Lancer Frog started very well. The new lifter came out with a little poke there, and they come round here and swing the weapon into Sir Lancer Frog's drive wheel and breaks it there. That is where Sir Lancer Frog stops working completely. The pit burn is activated, but here, look, is where New York Slice just stops completely. A double KO. Judges, make sense of this one.
And the winner by unanimous decision is New York Slice.
You know, if I had $1 back for every time there'd been a double KO this series, I'd have $2 bucks, which isn't enough, but it's weird how it's happened 2 hits running.
Anyway, New York Slice takes the 2 points as we move on to fight 3 of the night with the freewheeling Bishop starting their campaign against Mr. Waffle.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate.
Off we go then for our third fight of the night. Bishop makes its debut in LEGO Wars Series 6 as they take on our seeding machine, Mr. Waffle. Of course, 3 points already on the board for Mr. Waffle. Bishop, called so because it's like the chess piece, it moves diagonally with the kiwi drive. Clever. Very clever. I like it. Not so clever, though, are the bits and pieces of wheels already being shed across the arena by Bishop. But that hammer in the middle is incredibly potent if they can bring it into play here. So they'll have to be aware of where they position the robot to take on Mr. Waffle here. Mr. Waffle up to speed once again. Kind of a natural counter to the hammer is the overhead spinner, and more damage sustained there by Bishop. Mr. Waffle looking pretty good thus far. Bits and pieces of Bishop coming flying off all around the arena, including lots and lots of pieces of the wheels, look. You can see they're strewn across the arena already. Mr. Waffle has lost its face. They won't really mind that too much. Weapon up to speed on Mr. Waffle still, and damage sustained once again by Bishop. But a bit of the bacon blade did come apart there on Mr. Waffle. They'll be happy with how they performed thus far in this heat, but Bishop is not going to be a particularly easy task to defeat. They're a slippery customer with a very potent weapon when they can get it into play, and Mr. Waffle will be aware of that. Poking through their top armor. Mr. Waffle up to speed once again, trying to cause damage to Bishop, but Bishop is able to kind of get used to the pace of the fight now. They're starting to get used to the way it drives as well. Mr. Waffle comes in for an impact, but Mr. Waffle can't really cause any more major damage. The kind of obvious bits have fell off of Bishop, and Bishop now, well, they're going to be at the mercy of the pit of oblivion because Mr. Waffle has opened the pit and they know that's a decent tactic for the 14th seeds. They've got a decent drivetrain on Mr. Waffle, and we've seen how effective it's been in the past. They've taken them to the bracket on 3 previous occasions. Can they make it a 4th in this series of LEGO Wars, I wonder? Bishop, though, so far, you'd have to say, have done a pretty decent job of avoiding that pit despite being in close proximity for quite a while now. In underneath goes Mr. Waffle, but pushes them into the screws. Gets away. Waffle up to speed again. Down comes the hammer. That was a good shot there from Bishop. Misses out on a second shot, though. There we go. That's more like it. And again, and again. Good pushing, though, by Mr.
6.
Waffle. And down the pit goes Bishop. It was a spirited effort, but Mr. Waffle claims all 3 points. We did see the potential that we saw last series from Bishop once again in this fight, but in the end Mr. Waffle were too strong and too well controlled for the Omni drive, Kiwi drive, all kinds of drive, hammer bot. The Bacon Blade did cause an enormous amount of damage, and eventually that drivetrain of Mr. Waffle once again proved its worth as they pushed Bishop down the pit. Oh yeah, there you go.
Some surgical slices to the Omni wheels of Bishop to make it 2 KOs on the trot for Mr. Waffle. Meanwhile, New York Slice is hoping they don't conk out this time against R.O.B.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Off we go then for fight number 4. R.O.B takes on New York Slice, created by R.O.B the Beetleweight. I wonder how this bit of friendly fire goes in the arena. The undercutter bar spinner of New York Slice up to speed very nicely and causing damage there to R.O.B. That bottom armour is pretty strong on R.O.B. We've seen that resist robots like R.O.B Blade for a long time, but it hasn't resisted New York Slice. I tell you what, has that else resisted as well? The weapon bar of New York Slice has broken off. Now that is crucial because New York Slice, as much as the weapon is potentially devastating, the pushing power, I say that as it's pushing R.O.B around the arena, but the drive power isn't the most secure. It's a little bit temperamental, and R.O.B has an opportunity here to get some much needed points on the board. New York Slice goes for the pit button, doesn't get it. R.O.B activates the pit button, and New York Slice has broken his entire front armor off and it's down the pit. It was only a matter of time after the weapon came off, but R.O.B has secured victory and a much needed 3 points after pitting New York Slice. New York Slice did start very strongly, bringing that weapon into play early on with a couple of impacts, but there is where the damage was caused. The weapon bar of New York Slice coming clean off, and from then on in, it was always going to be an uphill battle to beat R.O.B. And although the drive power seemed pretty good there, we do know it's not their strongest asset. R.O.B activating the pit, and New York Slice driving down the pit.
Some iffy driving from the pizza bot sends them down the pit to move R.O.B second. Next up, it's Salonza Frog leaping into action against Bishop.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
2 robots then with work to do in Sir Lancerfrog and Bishop. Good hammer shot there from Bishop, getting the hammer stuck on the top plate of Sir Lancerfrog. Lancerfrog, of course, knocked out in that double KO with New York Slice in the opening fight. Down the pit went Bishop when facing Mr. Waffle, the other seeded machine in this heat. So both the seeds out of the way, straight away from Bishop. That's a good lift there by Sir Lancerfrog. They're getting in underneath and trying to turn Bishop over. Doesn't quite manage to get it turned upside down though. Good control again by Sir Lancerfrog, getting Bishop caught next to the pit release button. Gets away now. Bishop brings the hammer back into the correct position. Sir Lancerfrog, I think they're high centered on a piece of its own bodywork that's been discarded, or maybe a piece of Bishop, I'm not too sure, but Sir Lancerfrog here is stuck next to the pit button, and Bishop has an opportunity here to secure a much needed 3 points. If Sir Lancerfrog can't get away, they're stuck. Look, on that piece of discarded robot there, Bishop stands off, and Sir Lancerfrog, well, is the frog going belly up here? Sir Lancerfrog here, the seeded machine, seeded number 15 for LEGO Wars Series 6, a round of 16 competitor last time, lost to Quantum, of course. At that stage of the competition is being counted down and counted out here against Bishop in the heat, and Sir Lancerfrog have only got a few seconds to go before they lose this match, and I think they are going to lose this match here. Bishop here gets a much needed 3 points on the board. Sir Lancerfrog in a world of trouble with no points from 2 fights. A long way to go for the frog. Such a shame that the fight fizzled out in the way that it did, because I think it had all the hallmarks of a classic. Sir Lancerfrog getting the lifter into play, a few hammer shots from Bishop as well. It was actually one of the discarded wheels of the Kiwi drive Bishop that high-centered Sir Lancerfrog. They couldn't get away, and Bishop sensibly banking the 3 points and carrying on. Sir Lancerfrog have a lot of work to do if they want to get out of this heat.
Frog looks to be in trouble at the halfway point as they get stranded on a section of Omni debris. At the top though, Mr. Waffle has a chance to lock in their bracket spot should they defeat their fellow Meals on Wheels tonight in New York Slice.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
How would you grade these two then halfway through their respective heats? Mr. Waffle, I'm going to give them an A. They've got 2 knockout wins to their name. New York Slice, I'm going to give them a C, a win and a defeat to their name. And the weapon comes off New York Slice immediately. Oh, as New York Slice just died on impact there. Mr. Waffle spins up and hits the arena wall, and I think it just shredded their own bacon play. Well, that's good work from them, but I don't think it's going to matter. New York Slice drove Mr. Waffle into the wall and died as a result. That is unbelievable. New York Slice, despite their early win and promise, have lost 2 back-to-back. Mr. Waffle moves on to 9 points already. Brilliant performance from them. Cue one of those funny edits where we see Mr. Waffle getting banged into the wall over and over again, the same angle, but faster and faster, because there was only one contact point between these two in this fight. New York Slice, disappointing for them. A win for Mr. Waffle, and I believe it gives them the Heat victory after 3 fights.
The somewhat unconventional one-hit KO means for the second year running, Mr. Waffle will end the night as Heat winners. Everything is still to play for below the bacon bar as Frog and Rob return to the arena, with the former needing a win to stay in contention.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate.
How would you grade these two then halfway through their respective heats? I'm going to give Rob a C, given the fact that they got a knockout win on the board, and Sir Lancer Frog an E, because they actually have got 1 point on the board. I was misspeaking earlier, sorry, due to the fact that they did get knocked out in their first fight, but because it was a double knockout, they do get a point on the board as opposed to none. So there you go. So Lancer Frog does have a point on the board, and it is going to be crucial for them, I think, to kind of get some points on the board and quickly here. Rob, we've seen it has been impressive in its outings thus far in LEGO Wars. It's not a walkover machine, that's for certain. Rob by the pit here, so Lancer Frog thinking about how to size up the robotic operating buddy. Hanging over the pit now, but it's on the pit button, and down the pit goes! Rob, what a crucial mistake from them! So Lancer Frog gets the victory here. Oh dear, and rookie driving error there from Rob, and it was again sizing up to be quite a fun little fight. We saw the lifter working pretty nicely for Sir Lancer Frog, getting Rob up into the air, but they dawdled for far too long on that pit. Sir Lancer Frog with all the nous hits the pit button, and down went Rob.
That's the second time Rob has been punished for dawdling around the pit, as Frog gets the lifeline they need to stay in the comp. They're not out of danger yet though, as New York Slice loads in for their final fight against Bishop.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate.
Summing up Bishop's heat then, I'm going to give them a C as well, given the fact that they're going to win on the board against a seeded robot, and there wasn't really much they could have done against Mr. Waffle, was there? Let's face it. New York Slice, of course, we've already graded them, and they are, well, in desperate need of points here. They need a knockout victory, and quickly, and they need to hope that they don't have their drive issues rear their heads for a third time tonight. New York Slice's weapon, though, is pulling apart. Look, Bishop's drive system there, the Kiwi drive, completely shredded, look. Bits and pieces flying all over the arena. You know, all those tiny little runners they use to translate in the awkward and unusual way that they do, and this is a good performance here from New York Slice. We're seeing now the effectiveness of that spinning weapon at the front, at the rear. I could never tell which way is the front on New York Slice. But so far so good for the pizza machine. And Bishop's hammer, well, they need to get some points on the board themselves. There's no real runaway favourite for that second spot, or indeed the play-in spot in this heat at the moment. Obviously, Mr. Waffle has already secured qualification, we know that, and heat victory, of course, but it's very much all to play for everyone else. I think, currently you've got Lancer Frog on 4, you've got Rob on 3, you've got New York Slice on 2, and Bishop currently on 3, but with 2 fights remaining. So, weirdly, Bishop, I think, is probably in the prime seat here. A win, though, here for New York Slice could tip the balance and make things very, very interesting going forward. New York Slice gets round the back of Bishop here, and it's a good push here from New York Slice, and the pit is already open for Bishop, and Bishop goes down, and so does New York Slice, but Bishop hit the bottom first. It's a win for New York Slice. Well, we finally saw the damage potential once again of New York Slice's weapon, and just in the nick of time as well, because this does give them a fighter's chance of getting through to the bracket as well, should results go their way. Bishop still have a chance as well. They have another fight still to coming up, but New York Slice moves on to 5 with a big pitting here, and Bishop defeated with relative ease.
That's arguably the best performance we've seen from New York Slice, as they share more sections of Omni Wheel off of Bishop to put them second, as we'll move on to the penultimate fight of the night between the two axe spots.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate.
Bishop then on the back-to-back fixture, and here are your heat permutations for you. If Bishop wins by knockout, they will finish on 6 points and finish ahead of New York Slice, which is pretty much the cut-off, at least for the play-in. So there's a chance they could finish second or third, depending on how the next fight goes with Sir Lancelot and Mr. Waffle. If they win by JD, that's not enough, so they need to win by knockout. If Rob wins by JD or KO, they will finish at least in third place ahead of New York Slice, and again, will depend on the final match between Sir Lancelot and Mr. Waffle. So that is your permutations for you. If you win by knockout, you're pretty much there. If you win by JD, we'll have to wait and see. Rob at the moment bringing those hammers down, and once again ejecting those runners is Bishop, trying to strafe around the back of Rob is Bishop, but not really able to do so. And it doesn't really help that Rob can hit from both directions. That's a good feature from the robotic operating buddy. And down come those hammers once again. Bishop pinned there by the screws, and it's a good sustained attack here by Rob. Bishop doesn't really have the traction and the control to get away from that corner where they're pinned by Rob. Rob now retreats to the arena centre. They can get away. Down comes the hammer of Bishop, trying to bring it to blows on Rob's head. I don't know if there's anything in there, boys. You might have to try something different. Rob swinging away aimlessly at the moment. Bishop trying to get itself positioned to bring the hammer down again, but it is a little bit laboured there, the hammer of Bishop. It is running third-party materials and components inside the machine, so that is why their hammer is so much more potent than maybe other robots are. Robots? I don't know. I will say one thing though, Bishop's hammer there is caught in the screws, look. And they're pinned in there, Bishop. And Rob circles in delight because they know they don't have to do anything to free Bishop. They're under no obligation to do so. And Rob is going to get a crucial 3 points on the board here. Rob celebrates by swinging his hammers. Bishop is knocked out, stuck in the screws, and Rob gets a crucial win. A good contest between the two hammer bots comes to that then, and we are sad once again to say that is the end of Bishop for LEGO Wars Series 6. A fun and novel robot doing their very best with an unbelievably powerful hammer. Didn't really get to showcase it in this fight though. Rob, their journey is going to continue, whether it's in the bracket or in the play-ins. A rookie robot making it through is always fun, especially when it's as lively as this one. Where that journey continues from though, the next fight will decide.
That mistimed axe firing takes Bishop out of contention to gift Rob at worst a play-in berth going into the Seeds clash. Mr. Waffle is our latest challenger this series to try and secure the perfect score, but they have a frog desperate for a win and nothing to lose standing in their way, so let's see how they'll finish.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate.
Away we go then for our final fight of the night. The two seeds come together, the two closest seeds in the entire series. Seeds 14 and 15. Mr. Waffle 14, Sir Lancelot 15. Here are your permutations then. Sir Lancelot, if they win, they're in. And not only in, they're in the bracket, not going through the play-ins this time around. Sir Lancelot, a win for Mr. Waffle. By any means though, Sir Lancelot finishes in 4th place on countback because of their defeat to New York Slice. So it is that close in this heat, folks. A win and you're in, a lose and you are out of LEGO Wars Series 6 for Sir Lancelot. Mr. Waffle have the chance here to go perfect with 12 points on the board as well. So still have something to play for. They'll be the only robot in the entire series so far to have done so, which would be quite the achievement for the 14th seed. And a good attack there from Mr. Waffle, although the bacon blade is wibbling and wobbling. Oh, is it going to hold on? It just about does, but it's not stable, is it? Look at that. It's currently coming looser and looser. Mr. Waffle needs to be careful of that. That weapon doesn't come off, otherwise it does limit their effectiveness in that category of judging very heavily. Should we go to the judges tonight? And I don't think we've been to the judges all night, so it would be quite the turn-up if it happened in the final fight of the night. But there goes the bacon blade. So weapon effectiveness is basically a surrendered category now. If you are a Mr. Waffle enjoyer, this could be a problem for them. They may need to bail and try and get them down the pit. Mr. Waffle, at the moment though, struggling to get that drive power, which we know they're very good at, into play. Sir Lancelot, they need to go and get their lifter in underneath and maybe turn Mr. Waffle over. Maybe just disrupt that drive train. As we said, it's so good. Just lift them off the floor a little bit and push them around. But so far, Mr. Waffle is doing a very, very good job of keeping Sir Lancelot's front end away from their own, and that at the moment spells danger, I think, for Mr. Waffle. Sorry, for Salanzafrog, because they know they need to win the fight. Any other result other than a frog win sees the amphibian go home at this stage. Salanzafrog's trying to get Mr. Waffle down the pit, doesn't quite manage to do so, but just like Salanzafrog earlier on, Mr. Waffle is now high centred and very close to the pit, but they can't drive down themselves here. Salanzafrog, they're a bigger robot than Mr. Waffle, and they think they would struggle to get around that corner. Mr. Waffle, no such issues there, but they are stuck on something, certainly. They are pinned in that corner, and Salanzafrog are being very, very wary and very, very careful, and they retreat now to the arena centre because they know they've got to be so, so careful not to dive down the pit themselves. Mr. Waffle here stuck in that corner. They can't really get away. Salanzafrog stands off. Mr. Waffle being counted down and counted out. They are not going to go perfect. And Salanzafrog, despite all the odds, are going to finish in second place in this heat and qualify for the bracket. It's a win for the Frog. Well, what a recovery for Salanzafrog. They must have been very, very nervous going into this final fight, knowing that their result in this match basically decided whether they stay in the competition or not, but they do survive. Mr. Waffle do not go perfect after all. The spinning bacon blade came off and they were nudged towards the pit by Salanzafrog and left in a position where they could not get away. Salanzafrog securing a much-needed 3 points and finishing second in this heat to their opponents.
Without a working weapon, they had to do it the ugly way, but Salanzafrog gets the KO they need to complete their turnaround tonight and take that second bracket spot. It's been a topsy-turvy night in the arena, as after an early scare we finally have both of our seeds progressing straight to the bracket for the first time this series. That's all from us tonight, but join us next time when the ex-champs Tantrum return to start their revenge campaign for the title. For now though, I've been your host David of Smeg, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, I could hit you because you're too low.
Just above.
It's just going over the
It
top.
doesn't hit the middle bit, but it doesn't hit the bottom either. So I'm like, I can't do anything. I hope that's still recording.
I think that one is, yeah.
Oops.